Hi, Grandpa Keto here. Hey, do you find yourself needing to lose a few pounds? Do you find yourself short on energy maybe? Or maybe you're feeling sluggish? Today I'm going to talk to you about the Grandpa Keto's 28-day keto challenge. And I'm going to give you the steps that you need to take before you start this. We're starting a 28-day challenge on Monday, September the 22nd. That's 2025. And today I'm going to go over the preparations with you to get you going so that you can try this way of eating and find a way to health and vitality in your 60s and over. So anyway, join me today as we look at 7 steps that's going to set you up for keto success. Here we go. Step 1. Before you even begin to think about what foods you're going to eat and what foods you're not going to eat, let's start by checking our motivation. I want you, over these next 28 days, to get you a little notebook and keep track. Now, first, I want you to write down your 3 motivations for beginning this keto challenge. 3 motivations. It could be to lose weight. It could be to get your A1C in order, get your blood glucose in order. It could be to feel more energy. But write down your 3 things. Maybe you want to be able to keep up with the kids and the grandkids. But write down your 3 goals for starting. Now, next, I want you to set your carb limit. For me, I have decided I'm going to go with a strict 20 gram a day carb limit. For you, now I'm doing that because 80% of the time I do keto. So I'm going to start right at 20 grams. For you, you may want to start at 75 grams. This may be your first time trying it. Or you may want to start at 50 grams. But set your carb goal before we get started. So write down your carb limit. Now, next, you're going to have to make sure that you avoid and prepare for, I want to say prepare for, so that you may avoid or lessen the keto flu. And I've given these tips before, but make sure you drink about 8 glasses of water a day. Drink you a couple cups of broth and consider an electrolyte supplement. Element's most famous, but you can go to any grocer and in their drink mix section, you'll find electrolyte supplements. Consider taking one of them. Number 3, tracking. Am I going to track or am I not going to track? I use an app called Lose It. A lot of people use MyFitnessPal. There are all kinds of apps. If you're going to track, pick one and track. My suggestion is yes, track. At least for the first 2 or 3 weeks. And here's why. When you track, you're making sure that you get your carb limits right. It is easy. It is very easy to underestimate the amount of carbs you're eating. So in that first couple weeks, I would advise you to measure, weigh, and track just to make sure you're getting your correct amount of carbs. Okay? Next up, now you're getting to the planning part, and you're going to want to set your menu. So sit down and figure out what you're going to have for the first week. Do this as soon as possible. Map out your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner for the week. Trust me, you'll thank me for this, because if you go into this unprepared, you are more likely to fail. So start out with a menu. I'm going to take, and I already know I've got a steady stream of breakfasts that I usually eat. And on this, I'm going to be doing a breakfast bake, which is eggs and sausage and cheese. I'm going to be doing scrambled eggs and sausage too, maybe some bacon. Figure out your lunch and your dinner. So get you a menu. For my dinner, I'm going to figure out like 3 meals, and I'm going to rotate them through the first week at least. So you want to get your menu. Next, you're going to go shopping. And when you go shopping, make sure that you buy good whole foods. No processed foods for the first couple weeks. By processed, you know what I'm talking about, those keto snacks. Keto bars, keto Pop-Tarts, keto candies, keto chips, keto bread. Stay away from them. Just eat whole foods. And I'm talking about, get meats And vegetables, especially the above ground vegetables, you want to avoid potatoes and that sort of stuff that grow below the ground, but make sure you get the above the ground stuff like, lettuce, stuff for salads. You're going to look at zucchini, green beans, squash, yellow squash, stuff like that. And make sure that you're going to be able to stay within your carb limit. So pick your veggies carefully, okay? So then you're going to want to do some meal prep. For me, if I don't prep breakfast, and if I'm not ready for breakfast and lunch, especially on the days I'm working, I'm going to mess up. Because if I don't have anything I can grab out of the refrigerator and heat up for breakfast, I'm going to wind up stopping at McDonald's and I'm going to have a sausage and egg McMuffin. It's an addiction of mine. So, you want to make sure you do some meal prep. At least prep 3 or 4 days in advance. Maybe especially breakfast and lunch. If those are the 2 harder meals that you have, those are my 2 hardest because of work. So do some meal prep. Next, I want you to make sure that you have snacks available. So that on those occasions when you get a little hungry, you'll have a snack. Once again, there's a lot of keto snacks out there, including one of my favorites, keto ice cream. Stay away from it. Have you some whole food snacks. I like to have hard-boiled eggs at all times in my refrigerator. That way, if I get hungry, I can grab that. I will have me some bacon cooked and in the refrigerator. That makes for a quick snack. This isn't so quick, but I also lean on meatballs. I got frozen meatballs, just great value meatballs. And I grab them, throw them in the air fryer for about 15 minutes, grab them, and I'm good to go. So make sure you have snacks. You know yourself. You can even go with veggie sticks, stuff like that. So make sure you have some snacks. I'll tell you another one. I like Laughing Cow cheese, and you can also go cheese sticks. So you want something that's filling. You want something maybe with fiber or protein to make sure that you feel full and stay full. And finally, the last one on the list, purge. Do a purge in your house. Get rid of everything that's going to tempt you. If you got candy bars stored in the drawer beside the bed, toss them out. If you've got snacks, high calorie, carbohydrate laden cereals, whatever, throw that stuff out. Bread, white rice, pasta, get rid of it. You don't want that stuff tempting you. Now, you may say, hey, Grandpa Keto, not everyone in my house is going to do this. Okay, I understand that. And if that happens, make sure you keep that stuff hidden and make sure it's not easy for you to get to. Anyway, there they are. Those are 7 tips to get you started here. So make sure you write down your motivation, set your carb limit, and go to work on preparing it. I have a keto meal menu plan that I will post down in the comments, and you can print it off, fill it out, and keep track of where you're starting and your meals for the week. Anyway, if you're going to join me in this challenge, get down there in the comments, type I'm in. And how about giving a thought to subscribing to my channel? Give me a like, get down there in the comments and tell me maybe what you struggle with keto, or if you're looking excited to start this challenge, get down and let me know in the comments. Until Monday, when we have our official weigh-in and beginning, I'll see you then. I'm Grandpa Keto.